Hi guys, welcome and welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how I made these very cute, minimal and simple crochet pouches. They are actually very simple and easy to make, and you can also learn some new crochet techniques if you are a beginner. Let's get started. These are the materials you're gonna need. These are the crochet abbreviations. We will start making the first panel. Start with a slip knot. To make a slip knot, wrap your yarn around your finger just like this, and bring the yarn which is connected to the yarn ball through the loop that you created by wrapping around your finger. Pull the yarn tail a bit tightly and you get the slip knot. After that, you have to make 19 chains. Now we're gonna make the round one. Into the second chain from the hook, you have to make 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet each into next following chains until you get to the end. You will get 18 single crochet from this row. Now we just finished making row 1, and we're gonna make row 2. To make row 2, you have to make chain 1 first, and turn your crochet just like this, and make 1 single crochet each into each stitch that you made in row 1. So you will also get 18 single crochet from row 2. This is how it looks like after row 2, and row 3 to row 10 are exactly the same as row 2. You have to make 18 single crochet in each row, and to start a new row, chain 1, turn your crochet. So make up to row 10. This is how it looks like after row 10, and now we're gonna make row 11. Chain 1, turn your crochet, and we're gonna make 1 decrease. Insert your hook into the very first stitch, pull through, do not pull through the last loop, and insert your hook into the next stitch again, pull through, and pull through all these 3 loops. And this is how you make a decrease. After that, you have to make 14 single crochet until you get to the last 2 stitches. Now we are left with the last 2 stitches, and we're gonna make 1 decrease using these 2 stitches just like we did before. Now we're gonna make row 12. Chain 1, turn your crochet, and make 1 single crochet into each stitch. You will get 16 single crochet from row 12. Now we're gonna make the last row of the first panel. Chain 1, turn your crochet, and we have to make 1 decrease using the first 2 stitches. After that, you have to make 12 single crochet until you are left with last 2 stitches. Using the last 2 stitches, make 1 decrease. And now we just finished making the first panel of our bag, and you can now cut the yarn. Before making the second panel, we're gonna make the connecting panel first. Start with a slip knot and make 7 chains. Into the second chain from the hook, you have to make 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet each into the next following chains. You will get 6 single crochet. To make the row 2, chain 1, turn your crochet and make 1 single crochet each into the stitches that you made in row 1. So this is very similar to what we did in the first panel. This is a connecting panel, so you have to make it quite long. You have to simply repeat row 2 until you get 44 rows in total, chain 1 and 10 at the end of each row. This is how it looks like after row 44, and now we're gonna connect it with the first panel that we made. We will crochet this connecting panel and the 3 sides of the first panel that we made together to get this shape. We will put the connecting panel above and the first panel under it, and we will crochet them together rows by rows. This is how it will look like after connecting the panels, and we will have to start from the left side. Just like I said before, put the connecting panel above and the first panel under and crochet together row by row. You can also use stitch markers to make sure that you did not miss or skip a row from either panel. Since we have 13 rows in the first panel, you will get 13 single crochet from crocheting the left side of the first panel. Now we're gonna start crocheting. Insert your hook into the very first row of the connecting panel. Now go to the first panel and insert your hook into the very first row. It can be a little bit tricky because you're crocheting into the sides of the rows instead of single crochet, but it becomes really easy once you get the hang of it. Now make 1 single crochet, and you have to crochet the same way into the next following rows, and you will get 13 single crochet because we had 13 rows in the first panel. Here, as an extra tip, while you are crocheting, place the remaining yarn tail from the first panel over the hook so that you don't need to weave in the ends because you kind of like bury the yarn under the stitches. So now we're making the last stitch of the first panel before moving to the lower side. Now we have finished the left side, and this is how it looks like. We can now cut the yarn that we carried along. We will now move to the lower side of the first panel, and we will get 18 single crochet from crocheting the connecting panel and first panel together in the lower side, because we had 18 single crochet in the first row of the first panel. Just like we did before, you have to make sure that you are not skipping or missing any row or any chain, and crochet them together until you have 18 single crochet. Now we have finished crocheting the lower part, and it already looks like this. We'll mark the last stitch with a stitch marker so that we can easily count again if we needed to. Now we'll crochet the right side as we did the left side. They are exactly the same, and you will also get 13 single crochet from crocheting the right side. This is how it looks like after connecting the first panel. You can now cut the yarn, and we're gonna make the second panel. Second panel is almost the same as the first one. There's only a slight difference in row 2. Start with a slip knot and make 19 chains. Chain 1 and 10 to make row 2 and make 3 single crochet first. For the next 12 single crochet, we're gonna crochet into the front loops only. Now you can see the V-shaped single crochet stitches, and we will only insert into the front part, just like this, not into that V shape. We will only take the front part, just like this one, and we will leave the back loops. So you have to make 12 single crochet by inserting into the front loop only. So this is how it looks like after this. We left back loops, and now you have to make 3 single crochet by inserting into the both loops, just like you would normally do. This is how it looks like after row 2, and we left these back loops because we're gonna make the pocket. After we are finished making the second panel, we'll make a pocket just like this into that back loops that we left. So now the rest of the second panel is exactly the same as the first panel. So read the pattern above and make the second panel. So we have finished the second panel, and do not cut the yarn. You can use any color of yarn that you like to make the pocket. We're gonna insert our hook into the back loops that we left in row 2. We're gonna insert from above. Insert into the very first back loop just like this and bring your new yarn. Pull your yarn through the back loop and make chain 1 first. After that, insert your hook into the same back loop and make 1 single crochet. Make 1 single crochet each into the next back loops, and remember to carry the remaining yarn tail by placing it over the hook so that you don't need to weave in the ends. Now we're gonna make row 2, chain 1, turn your crochet, and make 1 single crochet into each stitch that you made. You will get 12 single crochet from row 2. From row 3 to row 8, they are exactly the same as row 2, so you have to repeat row 2 until you have 8 rows in total. So this is how it looks like after row 8, and you can now cut the yarn. Now we're gonna crochet along the 3 sides of this pocket to make it look more clean and neat. Here's a picture for you to better understand. Cut the yarn tail that we carried along. We will start from the right side at the bottom. Insert your hook into the back loop at the bottom. After that, bring your new yarn and make chain 1 first. Insert your hook into the same place again and make 1 single crochet. You can now move to another rows and make 1 single crochet into each. You will get 8 single crochet from this right side. After making 8 single crochet, you can now move to the upper side. You simply have to make 1 single crochet into each stitch, and we will get 12 single crochet from crocheting the upper side. Actually, this is like crocheting into the last row of the pocket. Now we're gonna crochet onto the left side by making 1 single crochet into each row, and you will get a single crochet from the left side. You can now cut the yarn, leaving a very long tail, because we're gonna sew the right and left side of the pocket. Cut the yarns that we carried along. Now we're gonna sew the right and left side to make it into a pocket. After sewing the left side, we're gonna leave the upper part and go over to the right side by moving your needle under the stitches. After sewing the left and right side, we now get a pocket and we're gonna weave in the ends and cut the yarn. This is our second panel with a pocket, and we're gonna connect it to that thing that we made. We just have to connect it exactly the same way we connected the first panel. You can also use stitch markers to not skip or miss any rows. Here is this picture again for your reference and stitch counts. Just like previously, start from the left side and crochet into row by row with the second panel and the connecting panel. Now we are finished connecting everything together, so we can cut the end. Now we're gonna make the cover for our parts. We're gonna make the cover onto the first panel, the panel without the pocket, and we will start from the right side. We will insert our hook into the very last row of the first panel. Bring the new yarn and make chain 1 first. Insert the hook into the same stitch again and make 1 single crochet. I'm gonna carry the remaining yarn tails and bury them under the stitches so that I don't need to weave in the ends. Make 1 single crochet and make 1 single crochet each into the next stitches. We had 14 single crochet in the last row of the first panel, so we will get 14 single crochet for this row as well. To make row 2, chain 1, turn your piece, and make 1 single crochet into each stitch of row 1. You will get 14 single crochet again. Row 3 to 10 are exactly the same as row 2. Chain 1 and 10 at the end of every row and make 14 single crochet for each row. This is how it looks like after row 10, and now we're gonna make row 11. To make row 11, chain 1, turn your piece, and using the first 2 stitches, we're gonna make 1 decrease. After that, make 10 single crochet. In the last 2 stitches, we're gonna make 1 decrease again. Now we're gonna make row 12, chain 1, 10, and make 1 decrease. After that, make 8 single crochet. In the last 2 stitches, make 1 decrease. This is the last row of the cover, and now you can cut the yarn. As usual, we're gonna crochet along the 3 sides of the cover that we just made to get a cleaner look. We will start from the right side at the bottom and insert your hook. Bring your yarn and make chain 1 first. Insert your hook into the same place again and make 1 single crochet. We had 12 rows for the cover, so we will get 12 single crochet from the left side. After making the left side, we will crochet into the last row of the cover. We had 10 single crochet in the last row, so from this we will get 10 single crochet as well. We will now move to the left side and we will get 12 single crochet again from crocheting into each row of the left side. After this, you can chain 1 and cut the yarn. Cut the yarn that we carried along. This way you don't need to weave in the ends. If not, you will have to weave in the ends in many places. Now I'll show you how I made this outline onto the cover. This is made by using a safari slip stitch. Insert your hook into that place which is just below the stitches that we made along the sides of the cover. Bring your yarn and insert your hook into the next row and make the slip stitch. While making these slip stitches, you need to be very relaxed. If you pull the yarn too tightly, it will shrink the cover and the stitches will come out a bit too tight. Just like that, you have to make safari slip stitches all the way until the end. And you will get this result from this side. At the end, you can cut the yarn and weave in the ends. Now we're gonna weave in the ends of every yarn tail that we left. So we are almost finished with our parts, and I added these little snap buttons to make it more functional. I sewed these snap buttons onto the pocket and onto the cover. As a final touch, we're gonna add this tiny ribbon onto our cover. If you don't have the silk, you can also use the yarn. Cut the yarn off about 8 inches insert it onto the cover using the darning needle, insert from both sides, and tie the ribbon. So this is the final result, and this is the end of our tutorial. I hope this video was simple and easy enough for you to follow. I also try my best to explain with the picture as well. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and if you had anything unclear, please feel free to comment down below. See you again in the next video. Bye bye and happy crocheting!